tonight, the FBI with yet another highly political investigation, this time leading to an actual indictment. Tonight, a former U.S. congressman faces up to 20 years in prison and 28 counts in a federal district court in what is yet another highly politicized case involving a one-time political leader. The FBI accusing the congressman of soliciting and then stealing more than $1.7 million to, quote, fund and reimburse family members and associates for donations to his campaign. Oh, and did I mention he's a Democrat? The Eastern District of California unsealing an indictment today for former California Democrat T.J. Cox. He faces 15 counts of wire fraud, 11 counts of money laundering, 1 count of financial institution fraud, and 1 count of campaign contribution fraud. But just as important, with the FBI and federal law enforcement under fire from the far right over the search at Mar-a-Lago, and some even calling for the FBI to be defunded, this once again shows how the FBI does its work, conducts an investigation, follows what it sees as the evidence, and tonight it is a Democrat that stands charged. As I've said before, I'm a supporter of all of our law enforcement, local and federal, and yet I'll criticize them if and when the evidence supports it. But let's stop the wholesale attacks on local and federal law enforcement, and let's stop pretending that the FBI only goes after Republicans. In fact, in recent months, the FBI brought a bribery case against the former Democratic Lieutenant Governor of New York, Brian Benjamin, seen there on the left. They brought a racketeering case against Democrat Michael Madigan, the former Speaker of the Illinois House of Representatives, and wire fraud charges against Andrew Gillum, the man who narrowly lost to Ron DeSantis in the Florida governor's race. Now, you probably haven't heard about all those indictments much on other cable news channels. I don't know, maybe MSNBC and CNN don't want to showcase all these allegedly corrupt Democrats, and yet it doesn't fit into the narrative of the right that the FBI is just out to get Republicans. We play things straight here on this show. We will follow the evidence and facts without the partisan spin. And many of these indicted Democrats are claiming their prosecution is political. That's the go-to argument, which of course is another way of saying that law enforcement is corrupt. I don't buy that until I see the evidence supporting it. Oh, and you know what else the FBI has been up to? They just rescued 121 minors and 141 adult victims in a nationwide human trafficking bust. They arrested 85 in what was dubbed Operation Cross Country. Criticize the FBI when they deserve it. I've done it many times. But today, they have led the charge against a Democrat, a former congressman who allegedly stole a lot of money. Joining me now is Jeremy White, the co-writer for Politico's California Playbook. Jeremy, thanks very much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. Tell us a little more about the investigation and what the authorities say that Cox allegedly did.
Thanks for having me. So the federal government is alleging that former Congressman T.J. Cox essentially siphoned off funding from multiple businesses he was involved in, stashed it away in accounts that he did not reveal to his associates, and then used it for personal purposes that included dealing with his own financial situation. And to me, most notably, funneling some of that money back into his campaign by doling it out to relatives and associates who would then give it to his campaign in what the federal government describes as a scheme to create the appearance of more political support than he in fact had.
And what do we know what his defense is yet?
We have not heard from the former congressman yet. I'm hoping we will sometime later today, but so far, radio silence from T.J. Cox.
Any response from other Democrats or other folks who knew him or know him?
State Assemblyman Rudy Salas, a fellow Democrat who is running for the seat that T.J. Cox won and then lost, released a statement saying that T.J. Cox had disgraced himself. Republicans are eager to point out that Salas gratefully accepted T.J. Cox's endorsement earlier this year. Of course, that was before a multi-count federal indictment.
Yeah, now everyone's going to be running from the hills from this guy. Do we know how long this FBI investigation has been going on for?
It is not spelled out with a whole lot of clarity in the indictment, but it is clear that this was a fairly sprawling investigation. Like I said, there are multiple different business entities alleged to be involved, everything from an almond company to a nonprofit that was trying to develop a recreational site around the city of Fresno. So if the scheme that the federal government lays out is accurate, then it's a pretty sprawling sort of network of influence here.
Jeremy White, thank you so much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. Tomorrow night, by the way, on the show, folks, I think I'm going to do a segment on the media coverage, the lack thereof, of all these Democrats who've been indicted by the FBI and why it would seem maybe both sides aren't covering it that much. We shall see. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.